Encephalitis is inflammation of the brain that can be caused by either an infection attacking the brain or your body's immune system mistakenly seeing your brain as a threat and attacking it rather than whatever's going on inside your body that it should be helping you fight. So encephalitis can affect anybody at any time. Unfortunately, around 40% of those who develop encephalitis will die, and those who do survive are often left with life-changing brain injuries for the rest of their life. So many people will never even receive an encephalitis diagnosis, and often people will, but it will be too late for them to have any treatment that can improve the outcome for them. What I tend to see in my work as a medical negligence solicitor is that people repeatedly go to their GP or A&E department, but encephalitis is never thought of as an immediate diagnosis, and people often have to go back multiple times over a few days or a few weeks or even months before they are then seen. They approached us a few months after Allana passed away, and that's because they themselves had concerns about the treatment that Allana had received, and they wanted to know what went wrong and that lessons would be learned. But also the coroner had opened an inquest into Allana's death, and so the family were wanting to be sure that Allana and the family's interests were properly represented at the inquest, and so they came to the clinical negligence team here for our specialism in both encephalitis claims and inquest work.
Very, very kind young lady, intelligent, bright, and always wanted to do her best in life with whatever she was doing. Poetry, open mic nights. She loved spending time with friends and family. She was writing a book, which she was really passionate about. She enjoyed music, her guitar, singing. Well, it started off as we came back from holiday. I came home from work. She was not her usual self. She was very anxious. She was talking about doing something different other than going to university, and she just became really ill very suddenly. Her temperature was rising. She started hearing things, and she just became unaware of her surroundings and just was very, very afraid. First I rang my parents because I couldn't cope with what was happening. She changed very, very suddenly. Then it was a case of ringing 999 for the ambulance because she was delirious, she had seizures, and seemed like she was fitting, so I had to call ambulance straight away. In hospital, she went straight into the ambulance. They took her to the hospital. They gave her medication. I'm not sure what medication they gave her, something to sedate her. So, you know, I thought that could help because we didn't know exactly what was going on. But when she came round, she still wasn't right. So, you know, they then decided maybe she's well enough to go home. So we tried that.
So Allana had an autoimmune form of encephalitis which came on very quickly and caused her to have a severe psychosis. She was admitted to hospital and actually she received treatment fairly quickly, and she responded well to that initially, to the point where it was safe, or her clinicians thought it was safe for her to go home. And what many people might not know is that it's not uncommon for people with encephalitis to have a relapse in the weeks and months following their initial bout of illness. And that is what happened with Allana. She became increasingly unwell again in the community, went back into a state of psychosis. What Allana needed was referral back to specialists who could help her increase her medication and bring her psychosis under control. The problem for her was that the community teams that were supposed to be looking after her at the time didn't have an adequate understanding of encephalitis and didn't appreciate the severity of her psychosis. So they didn't escalate her care quickly enough and to the right people. Unfortunately, what this meant was that during a period of psychosis, Allana wandered onto an active train line and unfortunately was struck by a train, and that's how she sadly died.
I think it's very important to make people aware of the symptoms of encephalitis. They're not always clear. You can't tell what it is. You know, it's helpful for people who are suffering with that and for medical professions to just get more awareness of it, really, and Allana definitely wanted to help in any way she can, and it was important for her that no one else went through what she went through. I think it's great for Encephalitis International and World Encephalitis Day to help people be more aware of this. Not many people know about it at all. It's just making people more aware, really, and helping family members or anyone who suffered with this illness. It has impacted us tremendously. You know, it can break people, but it's also, for us, made us a little bit stronger. Not take things for granted and not to judge people with certain illnesses, or if they're acting up in a different character or a different way. You don't know what's behind their story, so it's definitely helped. And the Encephalitis International, they've just been there for us from the start.
So it's really important for Allana's family to just understand what happened. They couldn't change the outcome for Allana, but they could potentially change the outcome for other family members and other patients in the future. So they came to us wanting those answers, both as part of the medical negligence claim, as part of our investigations, but also as part of the inquest process. Through our work, we were able to secure all of those answers for them. So the coroner made a number of recommendations to the health authorities that were involved in Allana's care about how they could improve things in the future. The family got to understand whether anything different could have been done and what the outcome might have been, and for them that was a really important part of the grieving process. I always think that as long as my clients have all of the answers to the questions that they want, then I've done my job properly, and I think Allana's family got that closure.
For Allana, I think it would be good to finish her book that we were doing. Mum was at the process of getting that completed. So Allana was also doing lots of poetry, and we've put the poetry together in a book, and it's called Garden Earth. And all the proceeds from that will be going to Encephalitis International.